And a howdy do to you too. Hey there, hi there, ho there. Hey there. Persons in this video may be more buzzed than they appear. Wow. So here's what I got. I got Bluegrass Brewing Bourbon Barrel Stout. So here's the thing. I looked up on their website and it says their server exploded. It doesn't say exploded, it says exploded. So I couldn't find any pertinent information. That kind of chaps my ass a tad bit, but what are you going to do, right? So I had to resort to means I don't like to do, which is I tried to find their ABV using another site, and I found on Beer Advocate it says 8.6%. So we're going to assume they're right. They're so wrong so much of the time. So, I don't know if that's hard and fast, but, and I do want to point out that I didn't look up any reviews. I just looked up the ABV, and I'm looking at any reviews. I want to look at the ABV for two reasons. One, I never want to see reviews before I do a beer review. I'll look up pertinent information, ABV, IBU, blah blah blah. But I don't want to look at reviews before I start because I don't want to be biased in any way. And two, and probably most importantly, is Beer Advocate really is a freaking joke. Any beer, I don't imagine any really serious beer person taking Beer Advocate seriously. And if you do, I think I should question that you're a serious beer person because the website's a freaking joke. But I'm using it for 8.6%. Oh, let me walk that back a tad bit. Wow, that was tasty. Let me walk that back a tad bit after going out there. Sometimes I do that, man. I think their reviews are a joke. Sometimes there is pertinent information. They're sometimes good about listing brewery information. But the reviews on Beer Advocate and Rate Beer as well. I'm not going to single out one. I think both of those sites are a freaking joke as far as beer reviews go. There you go. How about that? Bluegrass out of Louisville, Kentucky. I bought a couple of their beers, and this is the first one I'm tasting. I've got the regular amber ale and their pale, I believe, is what I have. But the first one I bought is this Bourbon Barrel Stout, and I haven't tried any of them yet. And I am a Bourbon Barrel Stout guy. I love the style. So, hey, I found this little ham glass. What do you think of that? That's freaking adorable, is it not? I found it at a flea market. I think it cost me $1. Some bitch! Oh, it's nice. It is nice. I was expecting more depth, to be honest. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's the body is a little thinner than I expected. Most bourbon barrel stouts really are a full-bodied beer. This is really a kind of a medium to full. It's got a much thinner body than you'd expect in a beer like this. And I do get some bourbon notes. Uh, and I must admit, let me say to start with, I do have, starting with a little, probably maybe with too much chill on it. So I'm probably going to do a second video with it warmed up a little bit. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't have the depth of character that I would think a beer like this would have. It's not flawed in any way. So let me say that. I mean, you do smell some vanilla or some bourbon. You get some vanilla, some smoky notes, but the flavors are very muted in a style like this that I expect to be bold. And I'm kind of comparing this to bourbon barrel stouts like the Odell bourbon barrel that I've had before, or the bourbon barrel Old Rasputin. So compared to those two beers, this one's much thinner. It's going to depend on what you like, though. I mean, I personally like the big, bold flavors, but I know the people that don't like those beers that I've mentioned that it's too thick and heavy for them. So maybe this is why they would like a beer like this. So some bitch, how about that? So, but I am going to let this warm up a little bit and do a second video because maybe I put too much of a chill on this time. Maybe it's all my fault. Maybe I just screwed up, man. What do you think about that? So, in conclusion, I will be back in a minute, man. Don't get your panties in a bunch.